Bestia.
Whoa, that's crazy. Oh, you thought I was joking. I'm sorry, but this is my YouTube channel and I can make all the bad decisions I want. Anyway, today we're talking about cars. Huh? I know it's cars. I don't know why I decided to write this video, but I really needed to get this out of my head. Okay, this is dumb. This sucks. But I really wanted to make this video, so I'm just doing it anyway. So fuck you. I have the password to this channel. I can upload whatever I want. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go! Strap in, loser. Thanks to all that sweet Patreon money, I'm able to afford the hottest whips you done ever seen. Most of my collection are my childhood models, but some are brand new additions which I have slowly been accumulating, thanks to my deep state connections with the leading manufacturers in the future of vehicular manslaughter. If you have not even so much as glanced at the books containing nothing but high-resolution, uncensored, hot photographs of hypercars, then your childhood was wasted. When I was a child, I went through a phase of being obsessed with cars for a while, and I don't know why. Actually, I know exactly why. It's because Speed Racer was released, followed by Cars, all while Top Gear was at its peak. This was the perfect concoction for hypnotising me into thinking supercars were the most badass machines in the world. And for years thereafter, I would be obsessed with all things cars. From playing Zombie Road Trip and Crossy Road every day on my tablet, to gawking over supercar videos on YouTube. But then I discovered Robocraft, and I don't really care about cars at all anymore. All except for Hot Wheels. I recently went through my entire Hot Wheels collection all over again and rediscovered why I loved these fun little die-cast cars in the first place. It's because they're just so unique. Hot Wheels cars were doing the Y2K translucent plastic and metallic chrome synergy before it was a trendy internet aesthetic everyone can't stop gooning over these days. And that's mainly because they've just been using the same goddamn designs all the way back from the early 2000s. Do you know how many Halloween Hot Wheels there are? I just found out about these as I was writing this script, so hey, maybe this video isn't a completely random departure from my usual output after all. Check this one out. What is this even supposed to be? Like, is that a giant electromagnetic generator in the middle or something? Yo, holy shit, look at this one. This is like if I was a Hot Wheels. This is my Hot Wheels OC right here. The futuristic designs of these cars are very reminiscent of the early 2000s visions of a utopian future, with all the sleek and shiny curves creating these satisfying shapes and angles. They often swap out the primary, secondary and tertiary colours to create the illusion of variations, but most of them just look like Alibaba trash, so you have to kind of pick and choose the ones that you like amidst all the clown vomit. Every generation has their unique vision of the future, and the automobile industries are always the ones trying to pioneer it. Look at any photo from the 40s, the 60s, the 80s. Houses, they all look the same. Roads, they're all the same. But what is forever changing? Fashion. What never stays the same? Cars. What will people remember this generation by? Automobiles. When you take a photo outside, what will people immediately recognise? Cars! Now imagine you grow up in my age. You grow up with shit like this! You grow up in a world where the roads are jammed back to front with nothing but tiny Punjabi women in their giant 6-ton SUVs and white trash van drivers parked on the side of the road with their dicks out and their engine burning a hole in the ozone layer while they stare at school children walking past on the street! No wonder I was infatuated with something different. Concept cars which push the very boundaries of what shapes 4 wheels and a car seat can barely fit into the confines of. Cars which make it their main focus to appear as if they were manufactured in a different dimension entirely from our own. As if the simple act of transporting the user from A to B has been reduced to a requirement so insignificant that the most logical conclusion you can muster would be that the dimension in which these angelic machines were formed has transcended the need for vehicles entirely, using suction tubes, hoverboards and teleportation to commute, instead of the ancient concept of the wheel. In this utopian world, wheeled vehicles are nothing but a toy. Racing has become a sport people play for fun at the weekend, no more significant than your colleague's tennis club. In a drastic effort to keep people engaged in the ancient art of motorsports, the World Racing League has devised several death-defying racetracks, which have garnered so many OSHA violations they had to be built underneath a reflective dome with state-of-the-art cloaking tech, deep inside the city of New Neo Tokyo, just to avoid a measly $7 trillion lawsuit. So yeah, Speed Racer had a huge influence on me as a child because of just how batshit crazy it is. Don't get me wrong though, the movie has its problems. If you can't enjoy the hilariously over-the-top use of green screen and CGI, then this movie probably isn't for you. The film set is almost entirely against a green screen and has that early 2000s Spy Kids energy, and I fucking love it. The visuals are so cartoonishly oversaturated and exaggerated, it's like a Lazy Town on acid.
Hello, I want to order a race car. What color? Deep purple, of course.
I will just quickly say though, the film does have some pacing problems, and some parts could easily have been cut out. Like some of the scenes with Sprittle and Chim Chim are just torture. Oh yeah, there is a funny monkey in the movie, and it's one of the only things that isn't CGI, which just makes it so much better. Also, he's a playable character in the Speed Racer video game, which is hilarious, objectively. I cannot understate how much of an extreme hyper-reality this film is. One moment you see Speed Racer's, yes, that's his actual name, brother Rex Racer die in a horrific car crash of blue flames. And the next moment you have Big Money McBusiness over here bringing this mourning family into his chocolate factory of madness as thousands of people on segways fly through the corridors around them. The movie has such an insanely elevated level of action that it feels like you're watching the mind's eye of a child bashing their Hot Wheels cars together on their IKEA road rug. Allow me to give you a perfect example of the excess of this film. This scene begins inside a room with a cartel gang beating up this guy. It escalates and they show off their fish tank filled with fucking piranhas to intimidate him. Oh, and guess what? This entire scene is happening inside the back of a giant-ass truck driving on the road. And then the truck is attacked by Racer X, whose car is fully weaponized with fucking Tommy guns?
Hey, look at him go! Nobody's as fast as Racer X.
Then the cartel members take off the paintings to reveal they have little gun holes to shoot out of the truck at Racer X. The scene only continues to escalate, and when Racer X is ahead of them, the front of the truck opens up to reveal a rack of missiles! And when it locks onto Racer X, the reticle flashes an evil smiley face. Oh my god. It's too epic! Holy shit, the Wachowskis, they went too far this time. Yeah, safe to say this movie was next level. It jumps the shark, it nukes the fridge, and it has cars flipping over each other with springboards because the rule of cool is the only rule in this film. I've never seen the anime, so I can't comment on how accurate it is to the original source material, but if it's anything even close to this insanity, then I'd be very surprised. Of course, there was a lot of other car media happening at the time, which influenced my brief obsession. Top Gear was a big one with their hilarious car modification challenges. I think I was playing a lot of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed at this time, so the autism levels were off the bloody charts at this point. It's still a better game than Mario Kart though. Ooh! Transformers was also huge! I love the sound design of those movies. Every other aspect sucks though. So for a hot minute there in 2010, I was a certified 5-year-old petrolhead. But now I don't really give a shit about cars, so what am I going to do with all of this? I will say though, I still have a soft spot for typical commercial designs, like muscle cars, rat rods, DeLoreans for obvious reasons. And I know this is a very basic bitch of me, but I honestly do like McLarens. When I was a kid, my favourite supercars were always Lamborghini or McLaren. I think they have the most futuristic and unique designs out of the mainstream car companies. McLaren cars actually look like goddamn Hot Wheels though, like straight up. I'd also love watching videos of people showing off their car modifications gone fully demented on YouTube. Some people just have way too much free time, I swear to God. It's just insane to behold, even though I am like very anti-petrol and would rather cars didn't even exist at all or used a form of clean energy instead, like, you know, nuclear fusion. Oh boy. So yeah, in conclusion, Speed Racer is completely good. But you know what? I watched it as a kid and I have nostalgia for it. So I'm gonna have to say it's automatically a masterpiece. Thank you for watching. Wait a minute. I don't even care about cars. There we go, that's better. Ooh, it's on the floor.
This fucking piece of shit.
Oh, he thinks he's hot.
He just thinks he's a badass motherfucker. What a fucking idiot. This is why everybody fucking hates Hondas.